Part 4 deals with creating a positive digital footprint. In today's digital era, it is very important what we do on the internet, what information we enter on which websites. Information about an individual has the kind of value that huge corporations rely on to make money. It does not seem to be a problem for an individual to enter his or her email address in order to get a discount, to enter a prize draw, or does not seem to be a problem that we have the same password for many websites. However, in a world where every piece of information is recorded, it is not so innocent. Every piece of information that an individual leaves on the web has been given the name digital footprint. To better understand what it is, we need to understand very well the very definition of digital footprint. The Technopedia website states, a digital footprint is a unique data trace of a user's activities, actions, communications, or transactions in digital media. This data trace can be left on the internet, computers, mobile devices, or other mediums. A digital footprint can be used to track the user's activities and devices. A user can leave digital footprint either actively or passively, but once shared, a digital footprint is almost permanent in nature. The term it presents has quickly become adapted and used in everyday life. However, it has become increasingly important with the rise of social networks and the use of digital devices, gadgets, and applications in our daily lives. What is digital identity or digital footprint? For every action we take, post, comment, or even when you browse the web, the sites involved collect our data in the form of cookies on your device. In doing so, we leave our digital footprint. This includes our passwords, usernames, computer IP, and many other personal data. All of this information is essentially our digital identity. And your digital identity can affect you in ways, for example, your employer, your school, your classmates, people you meet. Government authorities can use your digital footprint as a basis to evaluate you. What are the types of digital footprint? Norton describes two types of digital footprint as active and passive. An active digital footprint is one that we are strongly aware that we're about to make, such as posting a picture, commenting on a wall, agreeing to use any cookies, filling in forms to receive email notifications, and so on. Passive digital footprints are those that we didn't even know we are leaving behind or intending to leave behind. Often we are not aware that we have left them behind. This is the case when we talk about websites that collect information, how many times you have visited a website. This is an example of unwittingly leaving a digital footprint, as you personally have not given them permission to collect this, but it is collected automatically when your device connects to your computer's IP address to their website. It's also often done to pinpoint your location. Advertisers track your likes, shares, to facilitate profiling and display ads tailored to your criteria. It is important to be aware that active and passive traces can be tracked. As mentioned before, the collection of information about us influences our behavior. So let's explain. Every time we enter a search into the web database, search engines record what we have searched for and also our computer address, IP address, which tells us which digital device the search came from. Just being aware that data is being collected about us can lead to self-surveillance, self-censorship. We need to be aware that our searches on the web give away a lot of our data, and this data is of incredible value to advertisers, online fraudsters, and in general, to people who want to find out more about us. our privacy has changed a lot over time. It makes sense to check what is publicly available so that we can make a conscious decisions about what we want to show the public and what we don't. Unfortunately, some information, such as photos posted via Snapchat, we no longer have control over. The very culture of sharing information online has changed a lot among young people. Social applications have made it much easier for young people who are eager to participate and socialize. However, this is where one needs to be mindful of the digital footprint they leave online. Nowadays, many things can be created, copied, pasted, shared with the public instantly. Young people should work more consciously online and be aware of what the word public means and the importance of exposing it to the public at all times. People need to be taught how to use personal information and how to protect their privacy and respect someone else's privacy. As mentioned above, there are several negative effects of the digital footprint. There are some of them. The first and most problematic is privacy. There's always a risk that our privacy will be compromised when we give out personal data. Our privacy can be threatened by cyberbullying, identity theft, disclosure of personal data. Then, there is impact on the reputation of the individual. A positive digital footprint can enhance an individual's public image, while a negative digital footprint can harm it. Negative digital footprints include negative comments, posts, contents, participation in illegal activities, unethical groups. It can lead to cyberbullying, which is bullying, harassment, or threats made online. This can have real negative effects on the mental and physical health of an individual, lowering self-esteem, lowering well-being, and often leaving the victim with no solution in sight. Then there's excessive use of social media or other online platforms, which can lead to addiction, which can have a negative impact on mental health, relationships, and productivity. Then there's misinformation and polarization. The spread of misinformation and the proliferation of echo chambers on social media can lead to polarization and division with negative consequences for society as a whole. It is very important to be aware of all the possible negative effects and the ways in which we can reduce our negative digital footprint or become responsible and aware users of the web. How to manage digital footprint? Be kind, helpful, and understanding. Positive interactions with others online are one of the most important factors in creating a positive digital footprint. These can include leaving positive comments on posts on social networks, sharing encouraging content, and engaging respectfully and positively in online communities. Privacy. Don't share what you don't want the whole world to know. Pictures, information. Be careful when storing passwords and usernames. List of usernames and accounts. Delete accounts on websites that you no longer use. Don't post too much. The best advice is not to share too much. Avoid sharing information you don't want the whole world to know. This applies especially to username, passwords, surname, first names, pictures. Find about yourself using Google. Type your name in your browser and you may find out some information about yourself that you didn't know that was already published. Keep track of account linking. You may not know it, but often accounts can link to each other. You can enable them to do this during the installation process on your device. To avoid this, be careful and check in the settings. In particular, pay attention to permissions to contacts, pictures, and microphone. If you have additional email address, consider creating an additional email address. It has often proved to be an important part of protecting your identity. Read the terms and conditions. It is important that you at least read certain parts of the terms and conditions that the provider provides you when you download an app, a program. That will give you at least some insight into what you're allowing. And be aware, what you're sending is like publishing forever. What is the role of digital citizenship? The ethical side of digital citizenship is about appropriate and responsible behavior in cyberspace. A person acting online as a citizen of an online community confers both rights and responsibilities, with individuals managing their behavior within the context of the community. Some authors define digital ethics as an important feature of digital citizenship. The ethical factor of digital citizenship first of all addresses parents. Parents must instill in their children norms of appropriate and responsible behavior in relation to the use of technology. The authors stated this has been shown to reinforce attitudes, behavior, and discourage risky behavior. It is important to point out that inappropriate use of social media can be detrimental to digital citizenship in schools. The empirical study conducted in this paper reveals a significant population of secondary school students included in the study who lack parental supervision in their use of social media. Consequently, the authors justify the need of cybersecurity education to prevent inappropriate postings, hacker attacks, or privacy violations. Educators and parents' awareness of students' use of social media to reduce incidents of cyberbullying and protect their digital identity in cyberspace. The concept of digital citizenship was bound to emerge in this day and age. Scientists had to articulate the whole concept. The use of the term digital citizenship itself varies from scientist to scientist. The authors state that in addition to digital citizenship, the names cyber citizenship, online and network citizenship, or internet citizenship are used interchangeably, but the definition varies depending on where the emphasis is. The authors conclude that, however the digital world unfolds, it will play an increasingly important role in the lives of individuals. It is important to realize that, regardless of how learners embrace cyberspace, information and digital world have already become and will continue to be a major element of how they spend their work and leisure time. Therefore, in this maturing period, adolescents have to refine their self-image and define their identity for digital citizenship in the online environment. A positive digital footprint can represent our values and what we value most. By deliberately choosing the content we publish and share online, we can show others our interests, passions, and values. For example, sharing articles or posts about social justice issues can show a person's commitment to equality and justice. Sharing positive and encouraging content can show that a person is positive and optimistic. Participating in respectful and productive online discussions can show a person's openness to different points of view and willingness to engage in constructive dialogue. In addition to the content we share, the way we interact with others online can also reflect our values. Respectful, empathetic, and supportive behavior in online interactions can indicate a commitment to kindness and compassion. Overall, a positive digital footprint can help us represent our values and show others who we are and what we stand for. It can also help us build positive relationships and opportunities both online and offline.